Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will walk you through the top 10 SQL queries that are frequently asked in interviews. So this will definitely help you to crack any SQL interview that comes your way. So for today's video, I'm using onecompiler.com. So this is a very convenient option. You don't need to install any additional software. You can simply go here and you can create your own table and you can practice writing SQL queries over here. For today's session, I have just created an employee table which has employee ID, employee name, salary, manager ID and hire date. This is how the data looks like. To begin with, our first query is second highest salary using subquery. This is a very commonly asked SQL query. So the query will be select name, comma, salary, and I'll call it as second highest salary from employee, where salary equals to, then I have to write the subquery here. Select max of salary from employee where salary is less than. Select max of salary from employee. So basically this segment will retrieve the second highest salary. It will check where the salary is less than the max salary, and then on top of that we are applying max of salary. So this is how it will retrieve the second highest salary. So let's run this query and see here Mark is having the second highest salary and my query is also showing the same. It's showing Mark and the second highest salary. Let's move on to our second query. So our second query is second highest salary, but we have to use rank function over here. So for this rank function, we'll first create a temporary table. So we'll use with clause for that. So with, and then the table name, let's name it as rank underscore salaries as, and now my query is select name, comma, I'll take salary as well, comma, then I will use rank function, rank over order by, I have to do order by salary in descending order, so that based on salary in descending order, it will give me the rank. And let's name it as rank from, my table is employee. So my temporary table has been created. Now I will use this table to get the second highest salary. So for that, the query will be select, again name, comma, salary. Let's name it as the same, like second highest salary. Let me just copy it from here. From, and my table will be this temporary table that I have created, rank salaries. And here I'll keep the filter as where my rank is equals to 2. So what this query is doing is I'm creating this temporary table where I'm basically getting the rank for all the employees based on the salary in descending order, and then I'm using this temporary table and where I'm filtering for rank is equals to 2. So that's how I will get the second highest salary. So again, let's run this SQL and see. I'm getting the same result as the previous one. So Mark is having the second highest salary. My third query is find all the employees having same salary. So let me again quickly show you the data once. Here you will see Anderson and Nancy are having the same salary. So when I run the query, I should get Anderson and Nancy. So my query will be select. Here basically I have to use the concept of self join. Let me first write the tables first. So my table is employee. So employee, I'll create two tables, employee 1, and then I'll create employee E2. So I have created two tables, and now my conditions will be where E1 salary equals to E2 dot salary. So this is how I will get the employees who are having the same salary. The second condition will be and E1 dot employee underscore ID not equals to E2 dot employee underscore ID. These two conditions will check where the salary matches and where the employee IDs are not same. So this is how we will identify the different employees who are having the same salaries. Now let me write the columns here. So I will show E1 dot name, comma, E1 dot salary. Let's run the query now. And see here, as I have already mentioned that Anderson and Nancy, they are having the same salary. So you are getting Anderson and Nancy. Let's move on to our fourth query. Display top 5 highest paid employees from a table. So for this query, there is a very simple option. Let me show you that first. So what you have to write is select top. Since I want to show the top 5 highest paid employees, I will write 5. Then star from employee, order by salary in descending order. That's it. So this is a very simple way you can show the top 5 highest paid employees. Let me run this query now. And see here, you are getting the top 5 employees based on the salary. Now we'll move on to our next query where you have to show the top 5 highest paid employees using rank function. So for that, we have to create a temporary table first using with clause. So again, let's create a temporary table. So with, and my table name will be, let's keep it as rank underscore salaries, as select employee ID, comma, name, comma, salary. Next we'll use dense rank function because it will not skip the rank in case there is any tie in salary. So rank function basically skips the rank if there is any tie, but dense will not skip the rank. So we'll use dense rank function, then over order by salary, descending order. Let's name it as just rank, then from employee. So now my temporary table has been created. Now I will use this table to retrieve the top 5 highest paid employees. So select star from rank underscore salaries, and the condition will be where rank should be less than equals to 5. Let's just order by rank, and that's it. So let's run this query now. So control enter. So see here, I am getting the top 5 highest paid employees based on their salaries using rank function now. Our next query is show the list of employees and their respective managers. So again, let's look at our table first. So here we are having employee ID, employee name, but we have only manager ID. We don't have any field as manager name. So we are seeing only 2 managers here where the manager IDs are 1009 and 1006. So 1009 means, if you see here, the employee ID 1009 is Sophia, and 1006 means it's Nancy. So Nancy and Sophia are the managers for all the employees. So now basically we should use the concept of self join here, where we'll use the same table, one for employee and another one for manager, to retrieve the manager name. Let's go back and let's write the query for that. So here select, let's just write the from and the tables first. So one table will be employee, let's name it as emp, and my second table will be again employee, I'll refer to as manager, and my condition will be where employee dot manager id equals to manager dot employee id, and my fields will be employee dot name, it will be my employee name, comma manager dot, so see here I'm using employee dot manager id equals to manager dot employee id. Let me just explain you. So here I'm using the same table twice, one is for employee and another one is for manager. So and the join condition is employee dot manager id, that is equal to manager dot employee id. Now see here what it is going to do. So for the first employee, for Anderson, the manager id is 2. So now we'll check where the manager id in the employee table is same as the employee id in the manager table. So that is the condition, right? So manager id 2, and if you see here in the second row the employee id is 2, which is basically matching with the manager id 2. So what is the name of the employee? That is Nancy. So that means Nancy is the manager of Anderson. For all, so the manager id is 2, and in the employee id we'll see which employee has the id 2. So again Nancy has the id as 2. So Nancy is also manager for Olive. Then again we'll go to Henry. So for Henry the manager id is 3. So now we'll check in the manager table where the employee id is 3. So in the third row the employee id is 3. And who is the employee? It's Olive. So that means for Henry, Olive is the manager. So this is how you have to basically refer to the concept of self join, and where you will see the manager, wherever the manager id matches with the employee id in the manager table, so that corresponding name will become your manager. Let me run this query now. And see here, we have got the managers as Nancy and Sophia. As I've already mentioned before that 1009 and 1006, that means Sophia and Nancy, they are the manager. So we are getting the manager names as Nancy and Sophia, and we are getting the employee and the corresponding managers. We'll move to our next query, which is write a query to fetch employees earning more than their manager. So here also again we have to use the same concept. So let me just copy this query, because the first segment will remain same, because we have to first find out who the managers are, right, for each employee. So this part of the query will remain same. So let me just copy this query. But here we have to add an additional filter, that is where the employee's salary is more than their managers. So we'll add another condition, and employee dot salary is greater than manager dot salary. Here also we are using the same concept of self join. So using till here, using this condition, the first condition will get like who are the managers for each employee, and then we'll see like for where the employee salary is more than the manager's salary. So let's run this query. So for Mark, the manager is Nancy, and for Jimmy, the manager is Sophia. Okay, so for Mark, the salary is this. So Mark is basically the second highest salary, so that is correct. And for Jimmy, again, Jimmy has the highest salary, so that is also correct. So we have now got the employees who are having more salary than their managers. Then we'll move to our ninth query. So our ninth query is show the list of employees who joined in the same year as their respective managers. So again, here also again, let me copy this first segment of the query, because again that remains same. We have to first get the managers, and then on top of that, we have to add one more additional filter where we'll see the employees joining year is same as the respective managers joining year or not. So for that, we'll use the date part function, and then we will get the year, and so it will be employee dot hire date, and then we'll check again equals to, again we'll use date part function, which will extract the year, and then we'll see manager dot hire date. That's it. So let me run the query and see here it is giving me Rebecca and Richard. So just let's see the data whether it's matching or not. Rebecca's manager is Nancy, and Rebecca's joining year is 2020, so as Nancy's joining year, so this is also correct. And Richard's manager is Sophia. Richard's joining year is 2022 and Sophia's joining year is also 2022. So this is also fine. Now we'll move on to our last query. Let me just show you the data of the table. Okay, so it's a very straightforward table, but as you can see here, there are some duplicates in this table. And again, this is a very commonly asked question, like find and delete duplicate rows in SQL. So I have basically combined two things here. So first we'll find the duplicate rows. So let me first write the query where we can see the duplicate rows. Then we'll move to delete duplicate rows. So that query is select star from, my table is employee 1, where employee ID in, then select employee ID from employee 1 group by employee ID having count of employee ID is greater than 1. Okay, let me first run this query and show you how the result comes. Control enter, and see here, as you can see, this last two records for Toby, it's like the record has been duplicated, and this is how it is showing. Now let me just explain how it works. So for that, let me just take a copy of this query and let me run this query. What I'll do is I will include this count of employee ID to my select statement as well. So basically this query is checking for each employee ID what is the count of employee ID. Also, let me just remove this condition having. Okay, let's run this query now. So see here, for each employee, the count of employee ID is also 1 except 1010, because here this count is 2 because there are duplicates for this particular record. So that's what we are checking. Wherever this count of employee ID is greater than 1, so that means the record has been duplicated for that particular ID. So that's what basically this query is doing. You are able to show the records which are duplicated, but our another requirement is we have to delete those duplicate rows. So how can you do that? So for that, instead of select star, what we'll do is we'll just use delete from table name, then we have the where condition, and let me just run this query. So it has been executed, and now let me run this query and show you whether the duplicate records have been deleted or not. So select star from the table name, and see now those duplicate records have been deleted. So now that you have seen the frequently asked SQL questions, you take your time to prepare thoroughly. And that's all for today's video. Thanks a lot for watching. Do subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.